We're going to start off with one of Trump's little 2-minute videos because they're hilarious. But may I show you something related, which is the his Telegram channel, which again, I don't know what the fuck Truth Social is for, since you can just apropos of nothing subscribe to his Telegram channel and it's all there, and he doesn't make a fucking dime. Hilarious. But this is part of his sort of response about stuff. Yeah. Making a big political speech today at Trump Doral in Miami. The fake news says I'm not campaigning very hard. It was very hard to get a quarter of a mile from Mar-a-Lago. It's very hard. I say they are stupid and corrupt, but with the election still a long time away, but do not fear, many giant rallies and other events coming soon. It will be wild and exciting. By the way, it will be wild is, it's the same phrase he used about January 6th. Either he knows and he's being an asshole, or he doesn't and he's being an asshole. We will save our country from doom and make America great again. So, hilarious. And then this is the one right above it was what caught my eye. Why aren't they asking President Obama what's going on with his administration? Hold on, let me scroll this down so you can see it. There it is. Why aren't they asking President Obama what's going on with his administration? Well, what's going on with his administration is that he hasn't had one for 7 years. 7 years. Crooked Hillary took and illegally deleted and acid washed 33,000 emails, but that was the style at the time. You know what I mean? If it was the 60s, she'd have tie-dyed them. Emails after getting a subpoena for those emails from the United States Congress. By the way, he moved documents out of the little allegedly locked room into his office after the subpoena and after he and his lawyers had both said that there were no more classified documents. There are none. Again, be careful when you're speaking in definitive terms in any legal circumstance in the world, especially if there are what we would like to call known unknowns. There are no more classified documents that you could possibly know about. What you know about them? Fuck me. So, let's see. And who knows how many classified documents Joe took, especially pertaining to Ukraine and China. Maybe Trump-hating special prosecutor Jack Smith, who is doing the dirty work for his Marxist Democrat friends, should do the right thing for our country. Well, it kind of is. So, anyways, this the first sentence of this struck me as hilarious. The other thing too is, I don't know where this is an op-ed from Safe Read. I guess maggots have their own safe space now. Op-ed. Trump gives voice to the spirit of Winston Churchill. Donald Trump is confronting an enemy threatening America itself and has energized the patriots who want the country back. Oh, the Western Journal. Sure, let's open it. What the fuck? While we're doing stupid shit. The Western Journal. It's kind of like the Wall Street Journal, only meaningless. Oh, it's an op-ed. See, here and I thought, by Clifford Nichols. Hi, Clifford. I'm not joining the fight. There is no fight. Get out of the way. I'm clicking the little thing. There you go. In England left standing alone. Look at throw Germany's Wehrmacht on the 4th of July, day of that month. The last way, go away. Cancel. We shall not flag or fail. We shall fight in France. We shall fight in the seas and oceans. We shall fight. Yes, one of these great quotes. And then, in Churchill's courage and bold defiance, went viral across the continent. He was such a TikTok star, that Churchill. Rarely do the circumstances of history congeal to the point where such a man as Churchill is compelled to rise to the occasion and volunteers, and perhaps the entire world in such a dramatic way. It's happened a bunch. Like it was then, brink of discussion. All of which, ground level, one point of view, expectation. No small irony. There's a hypocrisy driving people in droves to support. That is the hypocrisy that's driving people in droves to support Donald J. Trump. He has shown Americans that those opposed to such constitutional standards are defining democracy differently than patriots and moving this country away from the democratic republic it was created to be. In this way, like Churchill, Trump is confronting an enemy, i.e. the swamp, who want their country back. His oratory skills draw tens of thousands of patriots from across the land to listen to speeches that sometimes last as long as 2 hours. I don't know when this was written. When was this? Because that's not the case anymore. When did this shit get written? What was the date on this? November 8, 2022. Yeah, I don't know if the nearest speech to that one had like 2,500 people. hilarious. Yeah, there's the Joe Biden 50,000, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so while we're at it, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Telegram channel. And here it is, what you've been waiting for. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Strap in, lather up, put on your blinders or put in your earplugs or get some popcorn and your giggle boots on, because here comes another lurching, and I've not seen this. I don't know what he's going to say. But I'm going to predict a few things, if past his prologue at all. A lot of lurching, some weird edits, him looking oddly orange, probably wearing the same tie as the last one, or the same tie as the next one, because CSL has pointed out they do these in pairs. And I don't know how they arrange these things, like what it is in his schedule, like time to go shout in an empty room at Mar-a-Lago. So maybe he's taping it at another place. Maybe this is a piece of Doral. Who knows? Protecting Medicare. Look at it. Oh, nope. Same spot, same tie, same shit.
Under no circumstances should Republicans vote to cut a single penny from Medicare or Social Security to help pay for Joe Biden's reckless spending spree, which is...
No, they're going to cut it to pay for their own reckless spending spree.
...is more reckless than anybody's ever done or had.
Come on. 18 seconds in. Back up. Cut that shit. Wait. Had done or do, or if they have.
Under no circumstances should Republicans vote to cut a single penny from Medicare or Social Security to help pay for Joe Biden's reckless spending spree, which is more reckless than anybody's ever done or had.
Yes, more reckless than, it's basically the political version of the Jackass movies, especially the later ones where they're far too old for this nonsense.
History of our country.
In the history of our country, ever. The most reckless thing, unless you look at those videos of like rednecks trying to jump over flaming kiddie pools off the roof of their barn on pedaling on a bicycle.
Biden has blown out the federal budget, wasted trillions on left-wing lunacy and the ridiculous Green New Deal, which is a tremendous...
Oh, here comes... I can't wait for by the way, Biden's brought the deficit down. It was way higher under Trump. But I want to hear his description of the Green New Deal. What is the Green New Deal? Let us all inside, because I'm not familiar with it. Are you guys familiar with it? I remember something being written about it a long time ago. No actionable legislation, but it was more of a PR document, as I recall.
Biden has blown out the federal budget, wasted trillions on left-wing...
Yes, totally. He's blown out on the... All right.
Lunacy and the ridiculous Green New Deal, which is a tremendous problem and embarrassment to us. And thrown...
To us? Who's us? What embarrass... Oh, God.
Open our treasury and our borders to migrants from all over the world.
Yes, now we're not only letting people across the border just free willy fucking nilly. They're putting them on trains and buses and sending them right to the treasury for a giant handout. That's we're America. We're an island in a world full of welfare queens.
In fact, migrants that are coming from prisons and migrants that are coming from mental institutions are being...
That's new. Okay, that's good. They're sending their crazies. They're dumping their lunatics on us at this point. We've heard the shit about... Yes, migrants are invading Fort Knox. That's where Biden and AOC want to set up shacks outside the gold reserve building at Fort Knox, which does exist and there is gold there. That said, that's why Mnuchin brought his wife down there and they fucked on top of it.
Being dropped into the United States.
Yeah, they're airdropping lunatics. Yeah. And worse, Spanish-speaking lunatics. So you can't even understand their gibberish because it's in the wrong language. How the fuck am I supposed to figure out? Maybe he is Napoleon. Right.
And we do nothing about it.
Nope, nothing at all. Nothing. We should be shooting them out of the sky like Missile Command. We don't care. It must be the CBP because they CBP, yeah, this Customs and Border Patrol, because apparently when there's a Democrat in office, those guys are, when there's a Republican office, they're super patriots. When a Democrat gets in office, they just blow their job off. Fuck it. I don't even want to bother. Let them in. The gold's that way.
I had the safest border in the history of our country just
And by I, he means COVID.
2 years ago. And now we have probably the worst border in the history of the world. I don't think any country has ever had anything like we have.
We've heard this bit again. He's on autopilot now. By the way, ask the people of Iran about the Afghan refugees, or Pakistan, where they stormed into there, where there's no limit whatsoever. They don't even have, they have crossing stations at roads, but if you're 8 miles that way, there's fucking nothing. Also, how did it get worse after the wall and after Title 42? Title 42 is still in place, and the wall, I blame both of those things.
Yeah, right now.
Ooh, they're going to catch me on that one.
Well, we absolutely need to stop Biden's out-of-control spending. The pain should be borne by Washington bureaucrats, not by hardworking American families and American seniors.
Seniors.
The seniors are being absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he lives in Florida. That's where they all are. The seniors. I don't know if you have. Have you seen any seniors? They should call them the unseniors. You can use that if you want to, dipshit. I call them the unseniors because we can't even see them anymore. They're all gone. The Democrats are using them for kindling. Fuck me.
In the last 2 years.
Yes, seniors have vanished in the last 2 years. COVID had something to do with the passing of a bunch of them and you blowing it off for months, but please.
Cut the hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars going to corrupt foreign countries. Cut the...
It means Ukraine. He doesn't have the nuts to say it. Let's be abundantly clear. He means Ukraine, but he can't say it. He's that fucking weak. He's a coward. Now I am not saying that Chip Roy and MTG are somehow courageous because they say it. They're just fucking dumb. And they know they're not running for national office. So it works in their district, so they can fucking say whatever they want. This guy thinks he's going to be running for national office again. He's not. But he knows he can't say fuck Ukraine, considering his history, and also considering he wants to run again, and he just say corrupt governments. Because honestly, that could be Africa as far as, his crowd are concerned.
Mass releases of illegal aliens that are depleting our social safety net and destroying our country.
Yeah, at a rate that no one could possibly rate at all.
Cut the left-wing gender programs from our military. Cut the...
Yes, those are super expensive. The whole thing about, training and not to call women bitches when they're your superior officer, that kind of stuff. That's expensive. I mean, what do you got to do to make it stick? You obviously need to buy electrodes, cattle prods, buckets of cold water. Every female officer has to walk around with a full drink so they can chuck it in people's faces. It adds up.
Billions being spent on climate extremism.
On climate extremism. So what? The federal government is paying for climate activists' posters now? What's the extremism part? What extremism? Expanding wind, solar, and other renewables and hooking it up to a smart grid so the sunny states can provide solar and the windy states can provide wind, and the states with geothermal can provide geothermal power and hydropower, and they can spread it all over the country so that places that don't have any of those things don't have to rely on coal. Right. Yes, because, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say to you, the message, if there is one from this dipshit, is there is no future. America's technological advancements, both in energy and production, stopped in 1923. And any technology beyond the fucking steam turbine or giant coal-run smelting plants is just a bunch of highfalutin big tech nonsense, people.
Cut waste, fraud, and abuse everywhere that we can find it, and there's plenty.
Well, if you got fired, that helps. Does that count? Can we put that in the column? We got. I mean, he's like a walking statue. Well, waddling statue to waste, fraud, and abuse. Yeah, that was good. Cha-ching! Look at that, $400K a year. He's not getting.
Plenty of it.
Yeah, plenty of it. I love the fade on this because
is being spent on climate extremism. Cut waste, fraud, and abuse everywhere that we can find it, and there's plenty of it.
Yeah, you don't even have to look. It's everywhere. Also, is there a fire burning in the background that they were going to cut to? Because I hear crackling going on.
Billions being spent on climate extremism. Cut waste, fraud, and abuse everywhere.
There it is. Did you hear that? Either that or somebody's knee cracked when they stood up.
We can find it, and there's plenty of it. But
it is just look everywhere. I knew where all it was. I mean, you could ask me. I was around. Everywhere I went, there was waste, fraud, and abuse. I don't know why people couldn't see it. They thought it was because of what I was doing. Right?
Do not cut the benefits our seniors worked for and paid for their entire lives.
Also, is he lazy-eyeing right now? It looks like his right eye. There's a little bit of drift in the right eye. Yeah, he's tired. He's got a little tension in this area, dragging that eye to the right, giving him that serial killer drift.
Save Social Security. Don't destroy it.
Yeah, you big dummies. Who are you fucking talking? He's talking to Republicans, by the way. This is not a message for Democrats. Yeah, sold, fucko.
The Democrats are looking to destroy Social Security.
What? Since fucking when? Hold on. The Democrats, this is the message so far. Help me on this because I'm smelling almonds. Don't cut Social Security and cut the benefits and destroy Social Security because the Democrats are planning to cut Social Security and destroy it. And just let them do it. Just, huh? Oh, fuck me.
We're not going to let them do it. Thank you very much.
We're not going to let them do it by doing it ourselves. This is a message for Chip Roy. That's what this is. This is a conversation for Chip Roy and Scott Perry because he didn't want to talk to these motherfuckers. So he's just posting a video that's going to show up in their inbox. And I don't even think he knows what he said. Right? Look at his face. This video is 2 minutes. It's about he put in about 2 minutes and 3 seconds worth of effort. And at the end of it, he doesn't even know what he's arguing for. Listen to the tail end of this again.
On climate extremism, cut worked for and paid for everywhere that we can find it, and there's plenty of it. But do not cut the benefits our seniors worked for and paid for their entire lives. Save Social Security. Don't destroy it.
Right. This is a message to Republicans. Don't destroy it because... Don't you destroy it. Don't destroy it because...
The Democrats are looking to destroy Social Security.
I don't know. Honest to God. What the ever-loving shit. Yes, he's talking to... In theory... Torch Crimson in our chat room, very astute. He's allegedly in this. He starts out with a message to Republicans: do not destroy Social Security because the Democrats are going to do that, which they aren't. So don't. I would say he's lying, Professor Funbags, but I gotta say I don't even know if he knows what the fuck he's saying. This is mind-bogglingly stupid. He's scared his cult won't be able to give him money if their Social Security is taken away. No, he just knows it's politically a bad issue, and somebody around him told him he needs to talk them down from this cliff. It won't work because the Freedom Caucus, who has McCarthy over a barrel, they don't give a fuck. And you have to understand, there's a video of Joe Biden that they used during the campaign and that they pop up every so often, where Biden was talking about a freeze on all spending because they were having to negotiate with the, I believe at the time, with the Newt Gingrich House or the Senate. And he was saying, look, when I said we agreed to this as a blanket cut of like a freeze on all spending. And I meant everything, defense, Social Security, everything. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it all at once, not, play favorites so you can sell that to your friends and then, stomp down everything else. Because that's just another version of you line item vetoing elements of the budget. That's fucked up. If we're going to freeze the number at 2022 numbers, which is the same thing as they were talking about back in like 93 or whenever that was, you can freeze it across the board so that you can't say I cut defense and I cut Social Security, but you wanted to save Social Security and you wanted to save defense by raising their money and cutting other shit. So that was the argument that was happening at the time. And they used this little slice of Biden where he says, if you're going to, everything's on the table, that means all of it at once. And yes, that includes Social Security and all that. Like, if we're going to try and fix this deficit problem, we're going to fix it as a governmental budget outlay, not as pick favorites, pat yourself on the back, and get to go home while we're taking the hard cuts, or you're just using it as an excuse to capsize programs that benefit people you frankly don't give a fuck about. That's what that whole thing was about. If Chip Roy or any of these people, which they've already talked about, we're going to need to talk about entitlements. That's what they're talking about. If they go out and make those speeches, that Joe Biden, even out of context clip, does them no good in 2024. It fucks part of their whole argument. They got nothing. So he knows this. Either because he remembers it as an ongoing issue because it's been around for a long time. That's the third rail, blah, blah, blah. He knows this. That's the only reason he's doing this. But he's worried that the MAGA, army that he built is going to go for it. He's smart enough to know that. Yeah, I think so, Manchita, but I also think it's not necessarily smarts. It's like muscle memory at this point. Yeah, and he's trying to confuse his voters. I don't know. I don't think it's that manipulative. I think he's just stupid. He ran out of shit to say at the end of this. I think he ran out of, the script ended and it was supposed to stop right there, and he adds on bullshit at the end of these things. Because goddamn, this is dumb. The Democrats are trying. Look.
Save Social Security. Don't destroy it. The Democrats are looking to destroy Social Security. We're not going to let them do it. Thank you very much.
Again, those last two sentences, I think he just threw on because there was he could kind of intuit that there was something missing in the message. It's fucking garbage. Yeah, it's an ad lib to fill time, and it has to be the end of it. It can never be our fault. It can never be the Republicans' fault. We're never going to make a mistake. It's not about us making a mistake. They're about to do that. Don't help them make that mistake. It seems to be where his brain salvaged or attempted to salvage what he was saying, just from an ego standpoint. It's, holy shit. Now, by the way, you're watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide. He posts that shit as a standard, as an emblem, as a symbol of the quality of intellectual thought and policy that he has. There's no printed policies, insofar as I know, that line up with any of these videos. He does not, when he puts these fucking things out, there is not a corresponding point where you're like, on my campaign website is a da-da-da-da-da-da, and a breakdown of these things. That has not happened at all. Any reasonably professional campaign would absolutely do. He's fucking winging it. And it's because he thinks that the FEC is going to come after him for pretending to run for president, but not actually doing anything. So he's posting these videos as like little markers in court to say, I didn't take their money and steal their money and spend it on myself and all that shit. I was actually making campaign videos and stuff, even though he just does it on his property in the same fucking spot every time. Ugh. Fucking tired shit.